Facing delays from high winds and heavy rain. Rob's tracking the storms, what you need to know before you hit the road.
Breaking overnight, twin manhunts.
Male patient with a gunshot wound, officer down.
The search for cop killers in two separate states. A rookie officer gunned down in Pittsburgh.
We need to find the person that did this.
And in Baltimore, police going door to door to find the gunman who killed a detective. The bounty on his head.
Speaking out, the wife of Senate candidate Roy Moore supporting her husband after those allegations of sexual misconduct with teenage girls.
They're not only untrue, but they have no evidence to support them.
Will President Trump weigh in on this case on camera while he calls out Democratic Senator Al Franken for his behavior?
And submarine search. The U.S. is now involved in the desperate hunt for a missing Argentinian Navy vessel.
Every hour that goes by means it's less chance of finding this crew alive.
44 crew members on board, the race to find them alive.
Live from ABC News in New York, this is Good Morning America.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Look who's back. Very happy to have Paula Ferris. You.
Oh, be spectacle.
Good
I am
morning.
back.
We missed you.
I missed you.
Grateful that you're back.
Did you really? I really honestly did miss you guys, my work family.
She's suspicious that I'm just saying that because we're on camera.
I'm
but I
not
actually
sure
did
whether or
miss
not to
you.
believe it. No, but
Dan means it.
thank you guys. It is great to be back. Thank you for your
You enjoyed
concern.
sleeping late, though, didn't you?
I did
Admit it.
enjoy sleeping in a little bit, but thank you everyone for your concern. I know viewers were reaching out and colleagues on and off camera, and I'm going to explain a little bit later exactly why I was out the last 2.5, 3 weeks and why I'm wearing glasses.
The glasses look good.
Do you like them?
I do.
They're
I am
hot.
wearing them
Yes.
from here until eternity now.
Okay. All right. I
This
like
is
it.
the look.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Also coming up, we're going to tell you about this wild video out of New York City, how the woman in the car walks away largely unscathed. That is extraordinary video right there.
Whoa. That is coming up, but we're going to start here with a big round of nasty weather hitting right at the beginning of the Thanksgiving holiday rush. Look at the radar. This storm stretching from St. Louis to Buffalo, and it's moving east, bringing high winds and heavy rain.
And there are fears that this could cause significant travel delays. So let's get it right over to Rob Marciano, who is tracking the storm for us this morning. Hi there, Rob.
Hey, good morning, Paula, and great to have you back. This is a storm that is going coast to coast. We had trouble out west. Take a look at what's going on or what happened in Salt Lake City. I-80 get up in some of the higher elevations, and it all turned to snow. Some of the highest levels saw 2-3 feet of snow, and obviously slowing things down on the interstate. This is a big travel weekend, obviously, as Thanksgiving now approaches. So some of you will be scraping off the snow, but a lot more of you, I think today especially and tomorrow, will be dealing with high winds as that West Coast storm begins to crank up. All these advisories over 15 states. We're going to have strong thunderstorms develop across the mid-Mississippi and Ohio River valleys as this storm really begins to wind up. And through Chicago, you had some rough weather last night. The winds will be cranking today, tonight, and through tomorrow morning with heavy rain as well. But some of these winds could be damaging and certainly will slow down some air travel and will make it difficult to travel on the roadways. More on this storm in the upcoming minutes in this broadcast. Paula,
all right, look forward to checking in with you a little bit later, Rob Marciano. And we're going to move now to a pair of stories that are developing overnight. Two cop killers are on the loose in two separate states, and there are manhunts underway right now to find them.
One of those police officers was killed overnight in Pittsburgh, and ABC's Eva Pilgrim is right here in studio with us for the latest. Good morning to you.
Good morning, guys. These are troubling cases. In both these cases, authorities are searching for details about the shooters, who they are, where they went, and both cities vowing to bring justice.
Male patient with a gunshot wound, officer down.
This morning, a massive manhunt is on for two cop killers in two different states. Overnight, rookie officer Brian Shaw shot and killed outside of Pittsburgh when a routine traffic stop turned into a deadly foot chase.
I'm asking anybody with any information, please give us a call. We need to find the person that did this.
25-year-old Shaw only with the police department since June. In Baltimore Friday, police and federal agents out in force, going door to door looking for the gunman who killed a city homicide detective.
My best hunch is that more than one or two people know or suspect our killer, and we're asking those folks to do some soul searching and pick up the phone and give us a call.
Authorities say 43-year-old Detective Sean Suter, seen here investigating a murder this past August, was following up on a case with his partner around 4:30 in the afternoon Wednesday when he confronted a man who was acting suspiciously. That man shooting Suter in the head, potentially with his own gun, before taking off.
The suspect may have been wounded, and we're obviously searching emergency rooms and doctors' offices.
The reward in Baltimore growing, now standing at $215,000 for information leading to the suspect in the city, saying they know money can be a motivator to some people. So they're hoping someone will see this reward and give them the clue they need to bring this man into custody. They're going now into day 4 of this manhunt, so they really do need people to come forward.
Scary and infuriating. Eva, thank you very much. We're going to turn now to the latest on the sexual misconduct allegations rocking American politics. Democrat Al Franken under fire, as you may know, for this picture. Meanwhile, the wife of embattled Alabama Senate candidate Roy Moore speaking out.
And the president is also facing some pretty tough questions after criticizing Franken, a Democrat, yet remaining largely silent on Moore, who is a Republican. ABC's David Wright is at the White House for us this morning. David, good morning to you.
Good morning, Paula. Dan, the White House is being accused of a double standard here. The president has been reluctant to criticize Republican Roy Moore, but he did not hesitate to call out Democrat Al Franken. Ever since this devastating 2006 photo of Al Franken hit the news, the senator has been keeping a low profile. President Trump among the many who've expressed outrage, tweeting, "The Al Frankenstein picture is really bad, speaks 1,000 words. Where do his hands go in pictures 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 while she sleeps?" And to think that just last week he was lecturing anyone who would listen about sexual harassment and respect for women. That tough stance against a Democrat inevitably has renewed questions about the president's own alleged past actions. More than a dozen women have accused Trump of sexual misconduct. And there are his own words, caught on camera years ago by Access Hollywood.
You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. You just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Grab them by the I can do anything.
Look, I think that this was covered pretty extensively during the campaign. We addressed that then. The American people, I think, spoke very loud and clear when they elected this president.
But how is this different?
I think in one case specifically, Senator Franken has admitted wrongdoing and the president hasn't. I think that's a very clear distinction.
The White House clearly struggling to calibrate its message on this issue. Republican Senate candidate Roy Moore is also facing tough allegations.
Look, the president believes that these allegations are very troubling and should be taken seriously.
Whenever the president is asked directly about it,
should Roy Moore resign, Mr. President? Do you believe his accusers?
He ignores the question. Meanwhile, there are also some new developments overnight with the Russia probe. Senate investigators had accused Jared Kushner, the president's son-in-law, of being less than forthcoming in producing pertinent documents. Well, overnight, his lawyer responded, insisting they're being fully cooperative and accusing the Senate investigators of turning this into a media event. Dan and Paula?
All right, David, right from the White House. Thank you, David. David just said there are new developments in the Russia investigation, but there are new developments as well this morning, the sexual misconduct scandal that has enveloped the Roy Moore campaign.
As we mentioned earlier, his wife now coming to his defense, and ABC's Stephanie Ramos is covering that angle from our Washington bureau.
On the steps of the Alabama Capitol Friday, Kayla Moore standing by her man.
He has always been an officer and a gentleman.
Embattled Senate candidate Roy Moore.
Let me set the record straight. Even after all the attacks against me, against my family, against the foundation, and now against my husband, he will not step down.
Moore's campaign coming under fire recently as allegations of sexual misconduct with teenage girls have been launched against him, claims he denies.
They're not only untrue, but they have no evidence to support them.
Kayla Moore also defiant, taking aim at her husband's accusers, his Democratic opponent, the media, and even President Trump.
All of the very same people who were attacking President Trump are also attacking us. I personally think he owes us a thank you. Have you noticed you're not hearing too much about Russia? To the president, I would say now is a good time to get some things done in Congress.
President Trump hasn't said much about the Moore allegations, a decision that's been criticized.
He has weighed on Roy Moore. He did it while he was on a foreign trip in Asia. I did it repeatedly yesterday. In fact, I took about 15 questions on that topic.
But Kayla Moore rallying the people of Alabama in defense of her husband.
The people of Alabama understand what's going on here.
Her press conference also featuring female supporters of Moore who say he has never been inappropriate.
He is the closest thing that any of us have observed to a founding father in our time.
Even the governor of Alabama is still backing Moore.
That's what I plan to do, is vote for the Republican nominee, Roy Moore.
You heard from Alabama's governor there. I heard some of the same when I was on the ground in Gadsden, Alabama this week. A lot of Roy Moore supporters told me they stand with him because of his religious beliefs and values. They may not know who to believe, the accusers or Moore, but many told me they'll still vote for Moore. Paula, Dan.
All right, Stephanie Ramos from Washington, thank you so much for your reporting. And of course, that election coming up just around the corner on the 12th of December. We want to get some political perspective from Cokie Roberts, who joins us from Washington. Cokie, good morning to you.
Good morning,
nice to
Paula,
see you.
Dan. Nice to see you all.
So strategically, this doesn't seem to be a fight that the president should be picking, backing Roy Moore seemingly, but then attacking Al Franken. So how vulnerable does this make him to his own accusers?
Well, I think a lot of men in Washington are feeling vulnerable right now, Paula. They're waiting for shoes to drop. But the president clearly has his own problems along these lines. But as his spokesperson says, he was elected with everybody knowing this stuff. Now, he did say at the time that he would sue all of the women who were accusing him. That has not happened. But I think that what you saw in the piece from Ms. Ramos, is that the voters are determined that this is some Washington conspiracy and that they are going to stick by their man in Roy Moore's case in the same way they did with Donald Trump.
Cookie, I want to show you a hot mic moment from overnight. What you're about to see is Senator Jeff Flake, who's a Republican senator from Arizona, at a campaign event in his home state. He's speaking to a local mayor here, and they appear not to know they're being recorded. Take a look.
Become the party of Roy Moore and Donald Trump. We are toast.
And
we
I'm
are
not throwing smoke at you, but you're the guy that could, just for fun, think how much fun it would be just to be the foil, you know, and to point out what an idiot this guy is.
Okay.
You know, anyway.
Wow.
So we should point out that Jeff Flake is stepping down because it didn't look like he was going to win his re-election fight there in the primary. But do you think he's saying what many of his Republican colleagues believe privately?
Oh, sure, absolutely, and you are hearing it privately. Jeff Flake has been public in his dismissal of Donald Trump and has become one of his main opponents in the Senate. But you do wonder at what point a politician is going to catch on that when you have a microphone on that you should be careful about what you say. But the fact is there's a lot of disgruntlement about the president in Washington, but there's also this sense that he's our guy on the part of Republicans, and they are hoping that he will help them get a tax cut through and that will help them come 2018. It's all politics, Dan, which I know doesn't surprise you.
Nothing does anymore. Cokie, thank you very much. Really appreciate your analysis
Thanks,
on a
Cokie.
Saturday morning.
Good to be with you.
Let's send things over to Ron Claiborne for a look at the other headlines that we're tracking and covering this morning.
Welcome back.
Thank you. I
Paula.
missed you.
You did.
Mostly you.
You told that to Dan earlier.
I did.
Dan, good morning to you.
And
Adrian.
mostly you, Adrian.
Good morning to you. Rob Marciano, wherever you are. There you are. Hey, good morning to you. Good morning, everyone. We're going to begin in Washington, D.C. with President Trump, Donald Trump, tweeting that he has put his decision to lift the Obama administration's ban on importing trophies from African elephants to put that on hold. The president announcing Wednesday that big game hunters who kill elephants in Zambia or Zimbabwe would be allowed to bring their hides, their trophies, through U.S. Customs. Now he says he needs more time to review conservation facts to decide whether to reverse that ban. The NFL is investigating an allegation that Tampa Bay Buccaneers quarterback Jameis Winston groped a female Uber driver in 2016 in Arizona. The league saying it takes the allegation seriously, very seriously. Winston issued a statement on Friday saying the accusation is false. Uber suspended his account after that alleged incident. In Pennsylvania, investigators still working to account for everyone after a massive fire tore through a senior living facility in the city of Westchester, which is south of Philadelphia. 27 people were reported injured. It's believed that 160 people were in that building when the fire started Thursday night. Reverend Jesse Jackson says he is battling Parkinson's disease. The 76-year-old civil rights leader saying he was diagnosed with the illness in 2015 and that getting around has become more of a challenge. Jackson says he will dedicate himself to physical therapy, hoping to slow the disease progress, adding that he will continue to work, saying, I would rather wear out than rust out. Here in New York City, amazing security video. Check this out. A speeding car, you see it there hitting a median strip, sending it airborne, then flipping over in front of the front yard of a home on Staten Island. Wow. Check this out. And it lands upright. The police say the driver was trying to get away from officers trying to pull her over. The 25-year-old driver was not seriously hurt.
That's incredible.
She faces multiple charges, including DWI and driving without a license, hopefully, or probably wearing her seatbelt, I would imagine. And finally, a defense contractor has built a new robot that can do something that most human beings, not even Dan Harris, can do.
Dan
Check
can't
it out.
jump?
I can do that.
No, watch this. It's coming up. Boy, can you do that?
Oh, my God.
Dig that.
Wow,
That's
wow.
Atlas, and it's been called a humanoid, actually, because it can move like a human, leaping from platform to platform. You saw there. Even more amazing, it does those backflips.
Humanoid?
A humanoid, yes.
Versus like an android.
Check that out.
That's
You know what? I
Yeah.
find it creepy.
It is a little
I do too.
frightening.
Here's a little, check it out, look.
When he does that,
Yeah.
I'm thinking, what is next? What's the next
He?
thing they're
You
going
refer
to
to it as
program?
he, huh?
Okay, well, it.
An army of bots. That's what
Yeah.
happens next.
Yes.
I'm just like, oh no.
One step closer to the singularity, people. Let's talk about something a little slightly less unpleasant. What's going on in the weather department?
Your double negatives are confusing.
Yes, I know. So try to keep up with me.
You know, there's some nice weather somewhere in the country, but cool picture in honor of Paula being back because she's familiar with Chicago. There you go. Willis Tower, Sears Tower, lit up yesterday with the storms that rolled through. There wasn't a whole lot of thunder and lightning, but obviously there, when you got a tall tower that's got a lightning rod on the top, it's going to get it. And that's a cool shot there at Chicago. Should be a little less turbulent today once we get through this first batch. This low is beginning to intensify. When they come up and over the Rockies, they get down to the plains, they kind of stretch out and start spinning faster, kind of like a figure skater. And so this thing is strengthening as it goes across the Great Lakes. By tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, it'll almost be off the coast. These winds are going to be pretty strong, and the wind chills will make it feel like teens and 20s all the way into Monday morning. But the wind gusts today could be 30, 40, 50 miles an hour at ahead of the front, and then getting into tonight and tomorrow morning. And then Monday morning across the East Coast, still breezy. So that's going to slow down some air travel as well. And that cold air coming off the Great Lakes will bring in some lake effect snows in the usual spots, locally 6 inches or more, making for dicey travel there. That is what's happening nationally on the weather map. Time now for your local forecast.
Temperatures this morning starting out in the 30s to low 40s, but as we go through this afternoon, we should be building into the 50s today. If you're heading out to the Montgomery Thanksgiving Parade in Silver Spring, mostly cloudy skies, also very breezy, and the chance for a few showers as we head into the afternoon. Rain picks up in intensity overnight tonight, coupling with some gusty winds. Some of those peak wind gusts right around 40 miles per hour. Overnight lows stay rather warm for this time of year.
And we are wrapping up college football season almost. Michigan taking on Wisconsin. Your Wolverines could be
They
the
got
upsetter.
Wisconsin and they got Ohio State left.
We'll see if they Wisconsin is undefeated.
I don't care
so.
if they beat Wisconsin. I just
You
want
don't?
them to crush Ohio State.
You guys and your Ohio State.
It's been a long time. Ohio State has
Speaking
Michigan's number.
of Michigan and Paula Ferris, you promised us a little explanation.
Oh, a little bit more
Yeah,
insight.
where you been?
Okay, so about a month ago, I was doing a live shot on the job in front of the New York Stock Exchange, and I got hit by an object. Somebody threw it. There's an investigation, but needless to say, I got a concussion. So I couldn't work. I was having some problems. Go figure, like lights and screens and reading really exacerbate concussion. So I had to take some time off, doctor's orders, and then I was cleared to come back last Friday. I was supposed to be back here with you guys last weekend. I was so excited, and I got into a head-on collision. So I'm okay. It was just the whiplash, which then exacerbated the concussion. So hit a little bit of a rough patch, but I'm here. The doctor has cleared me to return to work, so I don't want anybody to be concerned. But
that's why you're wearing the glasses.
I'm wearing the
in part, yeah.
glasses because of the concussion, and
You're
I was
fine,
wearing my
right?
seatbelt, by the way,
Yeah, okay,
in
good.
the car accident. So
Thank
all is
goodness.
yeah, thank God.
Well,